Small business is about courage, risk-taking, independence, and we small business owners are survivors. Everybody has an idea for a business, but how do you take that idea from mind to market? This is the place to learn.
Small Business School with Hattie Bryant.
It's a new kind of school. Together we'll learn about business from the inside out, from the people who've done it. We'll meet the men and women who are today's pioneers and quiet heroes. Their lives are the textbooks. Our classroom is the world.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
Hi, I'm Hattie Bryant. You've probably heard business owners say the challenge of business starts when you hire your first employee. Today we dip back into the programs we've done in the past to give you the very best thinking on the people part of running a business. There is some science to this, but there's more art than you might imagine. Smart business owners have specific techniques for getting started on the right footing. Leonore Ferrer says attitude is more important than skill.
I would rather have somebody that's fresh out of school, that has no experience, has absolutely a blank mind, and then I like to train them with my philosophy of work and the way I like to do things. And so that's why I have such a low turnover, because they know exactly what I expect from them.
Well, you don't have to then undo the old habits
Exactly.
that some other broker.
Yeah, one time I hired a person from another broker, and she spent 3 months telling me how the other broker did things, and I don't do that well.
I mean, that really is critical in this particular business.
Bill Sugar says he hires people who can read the customer.
I think when we hire people, we're very specific on who we hire. They have to have a certain personality, because you can't teach people to be, they don't have to be funny per se, but they have to be pleasant. They have to smile, they have to be willing to interact. Body language is extremely important.
So when you interview, do you look for those things?
Absolutely.
You're looking for people to like eye contact?
Absolutely. And people that will read my body signals and give me feedback on that, because if they can't read my body signals, they're not going to be able to read a customer's body signals.
Judy Jacobson hires people others may overlook.
I really feel one of the best things you can do for people is giving them meaningful work, and I saw that. We had people working for us that probably wouldn't be working for anybody else.
What do you mean?
We had refugees from Cambodia that didn't speak English, but they could package cards. We had a Down syndrome young man. Now we have deaf people.
At Madison Park, the warehouse is quiet because the supervisor communicates silently.
Yeah. You know, it's going to be a boy or a girl. Yeah. We have
Wanda Bryce of Computer Directions hires hundreds as she has a staffing service. She's always looking for people who have good energy and has her own quick way to detect it. You have surrounded yourself with great people.
Right.
How did you get them? Because however it is you did that, maybe other people could learn from you. What do you do in the interview process?
Well, I have 3 criteria. One is I look for a quick study. Somebody that really gets what you are telling them.
And how do you know that in an interview, though?
In the communication and in their face. You know, you can see someone's eyes. Did they get it, or are they... And people sometimes make the mistake of not listening in an interview. They're thinking about what they want to tell you to sell about themselves, and they just need to listen and respond to what you're saying, because on interviews, I always tell someone, is a two-way street. You need to be happy working for me as much as I need to be happy having you work here.
And so the second thing you look
Second
for.
thing, of course, the first thing is a quick study. The second thing is energy. And
How do you know that?
well, my acid test is the handshake. I'm Wanda Bryce.
Okay.
And if
I'm
you
Hattie.
don't feel, if I can't feel your energy, then it's not going to work. Because people with a high energy level get things done.
Okay.
And the third thing is the hardest to define, which is a nice person. And I really want someone who is a nice person. I guess everybody's got their own subjective definition of nice, but I want someone who likes people, who has a positive attitude, who is going to look at the best side of things, who is optimistic, but a nice person.
Do you do a 3-month, do you do a, what do you call it?
Trial period.
Trial period.
Everybody's here on a trial period. The first 90 days are a trial period here.
Okay, so no one's hired for sure
No.
until 90 days.
Right.
TMC Design tries to grab young talent.
We have an excellent co-op program with the university. Mechanical engineering students, when they come over here, the two gentlemen over here are both mechanical engineering students, they work in a machine shop for the first couple of years that they're here. That way, when they graduate and they design a part, they know whether or not it can be machined.
Leroy Gomez, Chris Ham, and Troy Scout are owners of TMC Design, a fast-growing company based in Las Cruces. They primarily design and build custom systems used by the military for electronic warfare.
This is one of the modulator circuit cards that we design and build that goes into a signal generator box that we build for the Air Force.
This is a typical monopole antenna, it's just like you have on your car. This is a dish antenna. This is a horn antenna. Let's pick this up. Without boring you with all the technical details about this, what it does is allows our customers to specify exactly what they want to do. These are 5/16 and exactly fine thread inserts, what characteristics they wish to have, and we can build an antenna to meet those characteristics. It's a total concept. We have 100% paid health insurance. We have 401k, we have annual leave, paid annual leave, we have 11 vacation days a year. Our benefits are excellent. Our salaries are very, very good. Everything is important. The marketing, making sure that you track everything, making sure that you treat your customers properly, and making sure that financially you're doing smart things. And then, of course, taking care of your people. And if you don't take care of the business, you're not going to be able to take care of your people.
At Nicole Miller, many designers are interns working for no pay before they are added to the payroll. That dress should be $275. Right. Then that should be the same.
$275. I would settle for $275. It'll be a hot dress.
Bud Conheim and Nicole Miller started the Nicole Miller Company in 1982. Today, they have 165 employees working either at headquarters in New York City on 7th Avenue, in the warehouse, or in the retail stores. There are 30 Nicole Miller boutiques around the country, 15 owned by Nicole Miller and 15 owned by licensees. Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, and other large retail operations also carry the line.
Ready? Yeah. My clothes look ageless. I've always been against clothes that make you look old. And I think a lot of times expensive clothes tend to make women look older and more mature. And I've always been against looking older than you are. And I don't think you should be, dressing like a teeny bopper either, because I think, women shouldn't dress so that they look foolish. But I think they should always, dress so they look youthful.
Fashion. It's tough. Dog eat dog, squeezing profits from seams. The business is unrelenting and unforgiving, but somehow Bud and Nicole have built a place where people want to work.
Everybody I have here now started as an intern. Yeah, I've taken a lot of people from Rhode Island School of Design, which was where I went. And I have 2 girls from there, and I have another girl from Parsons. Now I have so many interns passing through here that if somebody I think is really good, then maybe when they get out of school, I hire them. So let's get that one. Okay.
So when you see her sketches, you probably know what she's thinking.
I'm supposed to.
Do you have fun doing this? Is this fun for you?
Yeah, I love it. I love my work.
You're the person who says this works with this fabric or it doesn't.
Right.
Is it fun?
It is. I enjoy. For me, this is like my home. And my co-worker is like my family.
So everything else on this chart is pretty much done.
It is your life, and you're here working more than anything else that you do in your life.
Judy Scarpula is Senior Vice President of Sales.
My thing is always about opportunity. You know, I came here as like the fifth wheel in the sales department, and 15 years later, I'm Senior Vice President, and it's a new title that's never been given to anyone. This is on the silk knit, so we don't want to duplicate the idea with the Georgette. As far as Bud, you know, he's an amazing person to work for. He's better than a dad, and he's better than a husband. I don't know. Well, I usually go in and tell him the 10 things that I need him to do. So, and he says, oh, all right, I'll get to it. You need to put pressure on this person because they're not doing this. It's not always about money for people. It's, again, it's the freedom to do it, to have the opportunity to see it from A to Z. They all sold, and we didn't have to close it out.
So it's a baseball story. If we have 9 players, and they're all good, and we like them all, we've been playing with them for a long time, and we're up against a team that has 8 good players and 1 great player, we lose. So we have to, and that's a serious consideration. So when we're looking at the people here, we have got to have the greatest people to win this game. We're up against a lot of big businesses. We are not a big business. We're up against a lot of big businesses, and everybody here doesn't have to do their job. They have to do more than their job.
Tom Gigax and Don Gullett started Tires Plus in 1976. When they sold the business in 2000, there were 150 stores with 2,000 employees generating $200 million in annual sales. Tom Gigax tells us what he thinks they did right.
The decisions were to have an environment that people were able to feel comfortable, really spend money on having the store environment to look nice, spend a lot of time, effort in hiring people that we called cops. People were caring, optimistic, persistent, passionate, systems disciplined, and spirit-filled. So we found people like that would come in. We trained them well.
The reason I'm here is I want to find out what makes Tires Plus.
We had Tires Plus University, which is a place that took what already they were able to do and enhanced that. I sleep better at night seeing the quality in this room, because you're our future. This kind of goes in tandem, because the more that our company's reputation built, the more people would want to be involved with us. But we also did a referral process, because we felt that when we had a group of people with us that we felt were cops, well, cops know cops. So we gave them a $500 referral fee for anybody that recommended somebody to come to our company that we hired. And after 90 days, if they're still there and everything worked great, then we paid them. So we, rather than go pay a recruiting employment agency, something like that, I'd rather see our own people get that.
Okay.
Now, as far as the interview was critical, to be able to find out, are they really cops? And we did it in 2 ways. We asked them out-of-the-box questions that were very different than other questions that are asked.
Like?
Like, what makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you mad? The second major way we did it was we got into role-playing situations with them, where we actually said, you know, don't tell me how you sell. Sell me this pencil. Sell me the product that you had before.
So you really almost do an audition then, more than an interview. What's an interview
It's a combination.
plus an audition?
Yes, exactly.
All right, okay.
An out-of-the-box interview plus audition.
Once you've hired a person, what should happen next? Albert Black says we need to do 4 things: teach, preach, coach, and counsel.
I think you need to start with listening.
All right.
And have that become a learning experience. To teach is to come from the intellectual side for me. Preach is to be emotional. We need emotion in business. Coach is to be able to control and direct. Counsel is to be able to be empathetic to people and give them some sort of advice and direction as they move forward with their careers.
Tell me what my field of dreams is. What am I walking into if I come to work for On Target?
On Target Supplies and Logistics promises people three things. We promise people an educational income. If you come to work with us, you will know how to run a business. We have absolute open book accounting. You will know every expense in this business. You will know every revenue stream. You will know all the cost of sales. You will know how to run a business in a couple of years. That's the educational income. We'll also pay you a psychological income. We want you to feel good about what you're doing at On Target Supplies and Logistics. Just coming in with that spirit de corps, that attitude that says, together we can climb mountains and win battles. That's what we offer people, that psychological income of making a contribution every day that makes a difference. The last thing and the most important thing for some, the least important for me, is the financial income. We will pay you above market. We do not want you to think that coming to work for On Target Supplies and Logistics means that you've got to give up the opportunity to earn maximum salary. We like to bring people in, and over the course of their career here, get them above the industry average, and then so above the industry average that their desire to leave is based on the first two, psychological and educational, and not financial.
At Gadabout Salon and Spas, founder Pam McNair invests continuously in technical and personal growth education.
We have a culture here, and you can't just walk into it and be hired and be part of that culture. You have to grow into it. So everyone who comes to work for us knows up front what our expectations are. What this allows them to do is, over the long run of their profession, is it allows them to be in the profession longer. It also allows them to make more money. So that they're better prepared. Not just technically anyone can learn how to cut hair, but it's the people skills that aren't necessarily there when you get out of school, because you haven't had the experience. So there's a number of things we have to learn.
Tell me why you think working here is unique.
Oh, that's a loaded question, huh?
Tough one.
Yeah.
So many reasons.
There's many benefits. Pam, number one, of course. All your other coworkers, they're trained, they're knowledgeable.
So you feel you're working with the best of breed.
Yes, absolutely.
And that makes you probably feel proud.
Yes.
So many people feel their lives are different. I mean, that's just like something huge to say about a workplace.
Well, it's one place you can count on in your life.
We're a family, actually, and I think that makes a big difference.
What is it about her that makes people love to work here?
Oh, I think she's a great person. She stands behind us. We do a lot of education.
We've come up with a conflict resolution package, which is 4 steps that you take if you work with us to resolve conflict.
Oh my gosh. So everyone goes through a class?
They went through training, and now we have the 4 steps written in our policies, so that when someone has a problem, this is the way we deal with it.
Okay, let's role play. I've got a problem with you, Pam. What are the steps we go through?
The first thing you do is you feel it. You see how it feels, how you feel about it, so that you don't want to respond to somebody when you're highly emotional.
Right.
So you need to calm yourself.
Right.
The second thing after you've felt it is you need to deal with it. You need to go to the individual and say, do you have a moment? I'd like to speak to you when you're free. So that you take yourself away from a situation where there aren't clients or other coworkers who can hear the conflict.
Gotcha.
Then what you do is you speak about it. You listen and you talk.
There's no reason why I have to go home with a knot in my gut.
If you feel good about where you work, you feel good about what you do, you feel good about who you are, you can be successful at anything you do, because then you have the ability to be an excellent service provider. You really care about the client because someone cares about you. We have a number of programs in place that we've worked on over the years to create a culture by which anyone who works with Gadabout hopefully feels safe and calm and confident in not only what they do, but who they are. Because every individual is of great importance to this company.
if there ever has been an Achilles heel to a small business person, it's training is where it's at.
Why do you think?
We get killed in training.
Jim Shell has started and sold 4 businesses.
It's because we're too busy to train. We consider training as an expense rather than what it really is, which is an investment. I'll tell you a great story on training. We had a staff, in my last company, we had 17 salespeople. We didn't do much training just because that's the way small business is. My 17 salespeople came to me, as salespeople are wont to do, screaming and hollering and saying, "Jim, we want to be trained." Okay, I trained them.
What do you mean you trained him? How'd you do
We
it?
hired a consultant, came in a sales trainer. Had over a period of 2 or 3 months, had a 3-day program, follow-up and a follow-up. What happened was, Hattie, that our company went from being 10% increase in sales every year to whammo, all of a sudden it's 35% as a result of training our salespeople. I'll give you a quote that I didn't say. I wish I had. People complain about training because you train an employee and then they leave. And this quote by whoever it was, if you think training employees and watching them leave is expensive, try not training them and watching them stay.
Once you have good people and they know how to do a job, Marty Edelston's techniques will work to keep people continuously improving.
Well, iPower is a simple suggestion system that's sort of automated. It was something that Peter Drucker suggested, not with that name, but he said, make your meetings more interesting. Ask the people at your next meeting for 2 suggestions, which I did, and I was just knocked over by the suggestions. They were just so fantastic.
I have 2 ideas today. We have many premiums in inventory in very small quantities that are still usable, but they're just not being used. So my idea is, why not test a premium offer for Bottom Line Personal and Money's Worth, in which we give a mystery gift of 6 different premiums, our choice. What it does is it utilizes dead inventory and conceivably may be a premium that improves response. So I think it's testable.
It's just amazing, and it's not just the suggestions, that's the detail. It's how we get people to think, and it brings about a huge amount of cooperation.
But if you can use premiums that are
older, like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Or that, relate to other books that these people might not have received.
The iPower meeting that you did attend only hinted at it, but at some of these meetings, you'll come out with an idea and someone else will say, but we could make it blue, and then someone said, yes, but we can put yellow polka dots on it. And obviously, I'm saying it wrong, but it's just so exciting when that building
The
goes
give and
on.
take and the back and forth between departments and between units who would not normally talk to one another, and then maybe eventually jeopardize each other's productivity, not on purpose, but just because they weren't talking. But the iPower gets them together to talk.
And we've used it. Once you become adept at it, you can use it in other ways. We've had differences between people here, some really unpleasant situations where you're going to have in any business. We had it too. And others have tried to solve it. And then I came in a couple of times and I say, Hattie, would you please give me 5 reasons, 5 things you can do that would make Marty's life better? And Marty, would you please give me 5 things that you can do to make Hattie's life better? And also, Hattie, would you give me 5 things that Marty is doing that steps all over your feet, and vice versa? But give it to me, don't exchange it. Give it to me, I'm in the middle, and then I will edit it out and change the language so it's acceptable. And it's just incredible, it's just like magic.
Joseph Semprevivo is founder of Joseph's Light Cookies. He has a working long-term strategy for keeping great people.
I want to do something different. I want to tell my team members, you start with me, you can end with me. You could work with me the rest of your life until you retire. And they love that. And what we found out is our team members care more about efficiency because they have lifetime jobs. They come to me and say, you know what, Joseph, if we eliminate this step in the process, we can save the company more money. And I'm sitting there, I'm scratching my head saying, wow, but that's actually reducing your workload. Yeah, I know, but my job is to reduce my workload so much, you'll create another job for me. And that's found to be true. We've moved them from one position to another because they've actually eliminated positions within the company.
What do you think about the future?
oh, it's just the sky's the limit. We're doing multiple of millions a day in cookies. We do produce over 2 million cookies a day, but we're not stopping there. We are growing astronomically, triple-digit growth. And it's something that all companies would love to experience in the country. But you know what? Believe in your team members, give them great benefits, and empower them. And you know what? They'll perform.
You have just seen for yourself the extraordinary dedication business owners have to building productive teams. These men and women never stop thinking about others. That's the true secret to their success with the people part of running a business. We'll see you next time.
Small Business School is made possible by support from the United States Postal Service, delivering the promise to America's 23 million small and growing businesses. There's no wait at the post office in your own office. USPS.com is waiting for you. And by Microsoft.
We see you building a new company from an old company. We see a business full of potential. We're inspired to create software that helps you reach it.
If you want to learn more about starting, running, and growing a business, come to our website, smallbusinessschool.org. There's streaming video and interactive study guides.
The only way we can compete with big business is to be faster, smarter, and better. We are the engine of the American economy. We create the jobs. Small business is about big commitment. It's about sacrifice and struggle. But we do it because we say, if I don't do this, my life won't be complete.